He's got the whole world in his hands. 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 Run. Hello, folks. Welcome to another episode of the Joe Monroe Show. It is I, Joe Monroe. As you can see, we did dim the lights a little bit. We got some Halloween lights up, and this starts our very first episode of, well, not really our first episode of the history of pro wrestling, but one of two episodes for the spooktacular history of pro wrestling, which, that's something Mark came up with, not myself. But tonight, we're going to talk about someone very special. We're going to talk about none other than Bray Wyatt, also known as Wyndham Rotunda. Now, we all know that Bray was probably one of the, if not the best and brightest when it came to creating characters. I mean, for crying out loud. Minus Husky Harris, because I'm not going to count Husky at all because he didn't really create that. That was more kind of sort of WWE, but nonetheless, it's really, really cool to talk about Bray Wyatt. Hello, Joe Hamlin. How are you doing, man? But it's very, very cool to talk about him tonight. But before we talk about Bray Wyatt, I want to give a big shout out to a couple of friends. Big shout out to Phenomenal Finds ATL. If you're looking for anything retro, check out phenomenalfindsatl.com. They may have it. Big shout out to Charnes Photos. Crystal is a wonderful person. She takes wonderful photos. If you don't believe me, well, just take a look at, this photo. Picture is worth 1,000 words, and Adrian Alexander probably lost his soul here. But, hey, I'm not one to judge that. But go check out Charnes Photos. Crystal's very great. Also, big shout out to Les Murphy Painting. If you're having any trouble with any painting needs, contact Les Murphy at 734-334-3702. And also, big shout out to Red Ape Graphics by Crander Q. He is awesome. He's also a friend of the Squared Circle. So go check him out on all their social media outlets. And this weekend is Scarefest weekend. How come you're not at Scarefest? Why are you watching this? Go to Scarefest right now. Quit watching my show. You can come back later on Facebook, Twitch, wherever you're watching from. Go to Scarefest right now. What's wrong with you? All right, so let's go ahead and let's get into it. Bray Wyatt started tagging with his brother in Championship Wrestling from Florida. They were known as Bo and Luke. Yes, I honestly think they got it from the Dukes of Hazzard series. But he would later go on to become Husky Harris, which was kind of okay. When NXT first started, it was more like a reality show based. I didn't like it at all, but I did like some of the wrestlers. And Husky Harris was one of those wrestlers that I kind of gravitated towards because he was more of a heavy set guy that, was phenomenal in the ring. He was very agile. And it probably helps that he has a background in football, but good Lord, I knew there was something special in him even as Husky Harris. Then, the whole Nexus thing happened, and I felt like he got lost in the shuffle. And the character itself was, how can I say this? Be nice. It really wasn't catching anybody's attention. And he tried. You can tell in the documentary when they talk about it. He tried his absolute best to get something out of that character, but unfortunately, he couldn't get anything. But he would be able to go back down to Championship Wrestling from Florida, and this is when the Bray Wyatt character started forming. And thank goodness it started forming. That's all I got to say, because Wyndham was able to shine with the Bray Wyatt character. And to be completely honest with you, thank God. There was another wrestler, and I'm going to quiz you guys on this. If you know the wrestler who Bray Wyatt is based off of, and he got permission to use, let me know in the comments. But he based it kind of off this other wrestler that wrestled during uh, the 90s. And he took it and made it his own, made it like this cult character with the help of Luke Harper, or known as Brody Lee. And later on in NXT, they would introduce Eric Rowan. But they dominated in NXT so much and got such a big fan response that were able to move up to the main roster very, very quick. And this is when majority of people, because NXT was very small at this time, this is when majority of people and wrestling fans started really seeing the character of Bray Wyatt. And my goodness, right out the gate, boom, it took off like a rocket ship, as they say. And he had a few storylines, most notably for, facing John Cena and facing The Undertaker in the, oh God, it was too late, WrestleMania match. God, why didn't they just have Bray win instead of doing it, or instead of having Brock win? Can anybody answer me that, please? Anybody? Because that was, I know that's a Vince call, but that was a wrong call by Vince. He should have had Bray do it. That's just my personal opinion. Then the Wyatt family started breaking them up. Then they reformed them. Then Braun Strowman started becoming part of them. I'm sorry, my allergies are killing me. Then Bray started going on his own, because every time Bray would seem like he's getting a push, they were like, well, not yet. But luckily, soon, when he started doing the Eater of Worlds, he's got a WWE title run. I think it was very short-lived. It should have went a little longer. But to be completely honest with you, I think it's one of those very overlooked short runs, because everybody was so happy that he finally got a chance to become a champion, become the champion. Then he kind of went away for a while. Creative differences. He wanted to create something after tagging with Matt Hardy, and that's when we got, as I refer to as, the Mr. Rogers Firefly Funhouse, Bray Wyatt. And then we got The Fiend, which is probably one of the best characters in professional wrestling history. The Fiend, it was nobody to mess with until, well, they burned him, but, that's besides the point. The Fiend, that very short stint of years we got The Fiend, was memorable. Even the Firefly Funhouse match in 2020 with John Cena. I know some people want to poke fun at it, but hey, to be completely honest with you, I think it's probably one of the best Mania matches. At first, I was like, eh. Then the more I watched it, the more I realized this was supposed to be fun. And honestly, that's what wrestling's supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun. Then Wyndham got released. Dumb decision by WWE. Which, to be honest with you, I think he needed it. Then about a year or so later, he came back. And we got, as I would like to refer to, Wyndham himself, because to me, it felt genuinely like him. We got introduced to Wyndham on WWE television for the first time. Then we got Uncle Howdy. Then we got the Lights Out match at the Royal Rumble, which could have been done a little bit better, but hey, it's still cool. I like it. It's very artistic of what they did with Bray. Then Bray ended up getting sick with COVID, and that derailed WrestleMania plans. And a few months later, unfortunately, Wyndham Rotunda, also known as Bray Wyatt, passed away. And that shocked me. That shocked the wrestling world as a whole. And what we could have got with the brand new Fiend, the reincarnated Fiend, and now with the Wyatt 6, I mean, it's still living on to this day. And if you got, I know I'm giving a very, very brief history here because I want to move on to, the rest of my family. If you haven't watched it yet, I urge you all to watch this Peacock documentary. I'm not sponsored by Peacock. I'm just going to let it be known right here. But this is probably one of these best documentaries ever. The Bray Wyatt Becoming Immortal documentary on Peacock, hands down one of the best wrestling documentaries ever. Now, with that being said, we talked about the variations of Bray Wyatt, the differences, the different characters, and everybody knows I got a cousin named Marty. He don't talk, but I was able to do voiceover for him. But before we get into that, let's talk here. Rusty, hey, Rusty, what's going on? Party Man Cam, where's my invite? Well, we'll get to you eventually, okay? Also, folks, I want to give a big shout out to Party Man Cam. If Lexington, Kentucky is having their big Thriller celebration, which is kind of like a Thriller walk, that man right there is going to be Michael Jackson, even though he should be Michael Blackson, but that's besides the point. I'm kidding, Cam. But go check it out. It's going to be awesome. Party Man Cam, it's going to be Sunday. So go check it out. Cam's been working his butt off this Sunday. Go check it out. He's going to show you all what he's made of. So Cam, good luck to you, my friend. But I want to bring out somebody here that everybody is mostly sort of familiar with. If you follow TikTok and Facebook, let's go ahead and bring up Cousin Artie. Cousin Artie, take it away.
All right, Cousin Artie. We're going to be, doing the rankings. Husky Harris, what are you ranking him as? Ooh, 4 out of 10. Well, we can't really blame you there. Yeah. All right, what about Colt Bray? What are you going to rank him as? Ooh, tough decision. Let's see. Looks like 7 out of 10. Okay, we can see that. What about the Eater of Worlds? What are you thinking about that one? Yep, that one. Think about it hard. He's thinking, folks. What we got? Ooh, 6 out of 10. Okay, that's probably controversial. I know. What about Mr. Rogers, a.k.a. The Funhouse? What do we got? Funky looking 8 out of 10. Okay. What about The Fiend? The Fiend? Well, God, that was an easy choice for you, wasn't it? 10 out of 10. Okay, wow. And Wyndham Rotunda, as we like to call him here. What do you think? His last version. 10 out of 10. All right, Cousin Artie. Well, we'll let the people know and see what they think. Thank you, kind sir. Goodbye, Artie.
All right, thank you, Cousin Artie, for those rankings. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Cousin Artie's debut. So let's go ahead and let's give him a big round of applause here on the Joe Monroe Show. Come on, let's give him some applause here. Artie's very smart. He don't talk, but he's a great guy. And let me know in the comments below if you agree with his rankings. Artie's pretty smart with professional wrestling, and he's all-around good guy because he doesn't say much, literally. All right, with that being said, I think it's time for some news. So let's go ahead. Let's take it over. Nope, it's not time for news. He's not ready yet. Okay, so we're not getting the okay here from excuse me, for Dave to come on. But since Dave's not ready, I do know that everybody's favorite uncle, well, he's ours, with fashion sense, and we're talking about none other than Tony Monroe. Tony, let's go ahead and take it away to you, sir.
Oh my goodness, I get to talk about Bray now. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about fashion. His fashion sense was on key. For example, he went a little basic with the Husky Harris type deal, which, look at that. That's a little basic. It's not for me. But man, what a man. And as he progressed, he would go on to have a lot more fashion sense, especially with the cult gimmick. I loved it. Oh my goodness gracious. It reminded me of Robert De Niro in Cape Fear, which is a great movie. If you haven't seen it, chef's kiss. So, as time progressed, so did the fashion sense. He started to get the Ether of Worlds. Then he went for kind of the Mr. Rogers type look. Then so on and so forth. Then, with The Fiend, that's when he got very creative. And not only with him, but with Alexa Bliss as well. Now, do I personally think this was the best? No. His last creation before he passed, my goodness gracious. That's the best. That's something straight out of a horror film. And to be honest with you, I wish we were able to see it in real life. But we are able to because, hey, guess what? They include it in WWE 2K24, which I'm going to hand it back over to Mark, who's going to be doing a review on that.
Oh my goodness gracious, my mic was muted this whole time. Oh, Joe, please don't get mad at me. But hey, guys, it's me, Mark Monroe. So today, I'm going to talk about my experience with the new Fiend and everything like that. So I want to have videos and stuff up pretty soon. And I honestly think that this is probably a great incarnation, and the graphics itself was freaking awesome. For those on Twitch and on Facebook, I will hopefully have something up pretty soon, and we'll do an actual in-depth review. But my opinion, I'm going to give it probably 7 out of 10 because I had issues downloading it the day of. But you know what? I honestly think it's time for some news. All right, Dave, let's go ahead and take it to you, sir.
Dave here with wrestling news. This is some bullcrap. Why am I outside on the porch with this little rinky-dink bullcrap sun? Dave here with the news. Now, reports are saying that the Motor City Machine Guns are making their debut.
Dave, they already have.
Oh, they have? Well, that was supposed to be big news. Why did they do that? Okay, but you know what? This is some bullcrap. I'm outside. Forget it. No news tonight. Here's the thing. I'm outside working my butt off, and these morons decide to blame me for sabotaging the show. You know what? I think they're just mad because I left. Just because someone who thinks they're credible and someone that thinks they're notorious thinks they can get rid of me off a show that I helped produce, helped get 1,000 followers, is such bullshit.
I want to apologize, folks. It's me, Joe, back again about those words. Me and him's gonna have some, yeah, that was not right. So I apologize for that, folks. We're gonna have to sit down and talk with Dave, but it was nice to see everybody, part of the Joe Monroe Show, finally on an episode, and given a little bit of a brief history on Bray Wyatt. Now, I do want to leave with this, and I quote. I am the color red in the world full of black and white. I am the eater of worlds. I am Uncle Howdy. I am him. I am the hanging conscience of a world that has thrown itself away to moral monsters. I am everything. I am Bray Wyatt. Now, that right there, especially the beginning of that, I am the color red in the world full of black and white. Those words will live on forever, as well as Bray's work. Now, personally, I think he's gone way too soon. But his work, as I said earlier, lives on through the Wyatt Six. And that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, whatever you identify as, that is the history of pro wrestling for Bray Wyatt. And this is in honor and memory of Bray Wyatt, a.k.a. Wyndham Rotunda. So, if you like the show, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, follow, and don't forget, we got some interviews coming up. I'll be interviewing some lovely people pretty soon. And if you like the new format, we apologize for Tony's video. It did come out pretty, man, we're going to have to talk to Tony about that. But I want to say thank you all for joining us. Thank you all who commented, who liked, who subscribed, who we got a new follower. Thank you to Twitch. This is our first live stream to Twitch. And we'll be streaming some 2K stuff very soon. Now, with that being said, folks, if you love pro wrestling, always support the crazy sport of professional wrestling. But if you want to be a troll and not like the sport of professional wrestling, read above. Shut up and enjoy professional wrestling. We are out.
Hey guys, did you like the video? Don't forget to go like, comment, subscribe, follow all of our social media outlets, and we will see you guys very soon. Bye-bye!